Hi, it's Jan from YouMakeItSimple.com. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these felt and fabric lollipop hearts and stuffed hearts using the blanket stitch. The items and things that you'll need for this project is the pattern downloaded and printed and cut out, a piece of felt, or my favorite thing, a felted wool sweater. I hope you've been saving your scraps of sweaters. This is one of my boxes, and you can see there's a lot of fun little pieces in there that we can use. You'll need just a little bit of stuffing, a pair of fabric scissors, embroidery floss, and an embroidery needle. You can use barbecue skewers or sucker sticks that you can get at the craft store. You'll also need a glue gun and some glue. So gather up your goods and we'll get started. So if you're using a piece of felt, you can just take the pattern and use a pencil and trace around it and then cut it out. Or I'm just going to hold my pattern on the fabric and cut it out while I'm holding it. So to make sure you have enough embroidery floss, there's nothing worse than being halfway through your project and you run out of embroidery floss. So I like to cut about 1.5 yards of embroidery floss. Instead of using the full skein, there's 6 strands. I'm going to separate them and only use 3. So a good way to do that so it doesn't get all twisted and knotted, like to lay it against the edge of a table and lean against it and then pull. Otherwise, see how that'll get twisted, and sometimes it even knots up. Thread your needle and make a knot on the end. Roll it around your finger and then roll it between your fingers and then pull. That'll make it just a knot at the end. Take your heart and without going through the back end, just going to slightly in the middle of the fabric, bring it out. So you don't see it on the other side, and bring it out to that edge. Tuck your knot inside. And I'm going to show you how to do the blanket stitch. And about 1/4 inch away from the edge and poke my needle in through both layers, and I'm going to see how that makes a loop. I'm going to bring the needle up through that loop and pull it. You want to pull it too tight. See how that makes it catches that right there, and then we'll take the next stitch, making that loop, stitching about 1/4 inch away and 1/4 inch away from the edge, bringing the needle up into that loop, and see how that catches and makes that really cool stitch. And we'll just continue to do that all the way around until we get to about here, and then we're going to stop. Now when you come to the notch of the heart, we're going to go straight down from that middle notch, 1/4 inch, and do the same thing. And then you just pivot it, take it 1/4 notch or 1/4 inch from there, and bring it through. And there you have that. This is where I'm going to stop. Leave the needle threaded, and we're just going to apply some stuffing in here. We don't want it really plump, just enough to give it a little bit of form. So that's not a ton of stuffing. We don't want too much in there. Take your stick and apply a little bit of glue just on the end. Kind of roll it. Open up the opening to make sure you don't get it on the sides, and just shove it down the middle and twist it to get it to the center, and kind of get it stuck to the batting in there. And we'll hold that and make sure that that's coming out down the bottom point of the heart, and we'll continue to stitch down to the edge. And when you come close to the edge there, just going to poke it in right next to that other side. And take it down to the point. Wrap it around the stick, and then come back up in the point. And to make your knot, just take a little stitch right there at the point, have a loop, wrap your needle around it twice, just gently pull until that makes a knot at the end. We don't want that knot exposed right there, so all you do is take your needle and poke it in right next to the knot, poke it up into the heart, the middle of the heart, and poke your needle out and pull it. Move the needle, take your scissors and just clip it close to the fabric. There you have it. You don't even see the knot or the end. These are really cute to just stick in your plants. You can give it as a gift. If you want to make it look like a sucker, you get some cellophane, little cellophane bags at the craft store. Stick it up in there, wrap it around, and tie a cute ribbon around it. If you want to make a heart that hangs and not have a stick in it, you do the same thing, but you're going to start at the top of that notch of the heart. That's where you'll start stitching. You'll stitch around till about here and leave this open, stuff it, and then I've just taken a piece of jute, made a loop and a knot, and I'm going to just stick that in to the heart. So the knot is just inside, and when it's sewn up, it will be able to just hang. So I'll continue with the blanket stitch and just knot it off here, and then you'll have a heart to hang instead of a stick. So as you can see, I have a bunch of other colors cut out, some other felted wool sweater hearts. Such a fun project and such a fun thing to give. Unique, different, and bright and cheery for Valentine's Day. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for other upcoming crafting and sewing projects. I have a few other tutorials on how to cut out felted wool hearts from a sweater and some other fun projects using upcycled sweaters. We'll see you in the next class.